Namaskaram to all viewers of Jyotirmarg. Dear viewers, in our last rendering, we discussed the story of Draupadi's Purva Janma or previous birth, in which she was blessed by Lord Sri Mahadeva to obtain 5 husbands of eminence and valor. And Rishi Vedavyasa told the Pandavas that she is now born as the daughter of the Panchala king Drupada. He also foretold that she would get married to all 5 of them and so advised them to proceed to the Panchala kingdom. And we also discussed how Arjun defeated a proud Gandharva king in a duel, and afterwards how they decided to share and exchange their Vidya and knowledge, and how they agreed the Gandharvas and the Pandavas to be friends and allies to each other. Now let's continue. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Harihi Om. While talking to the Gandharva, Arjun said that several great men and women had been travelling in front of them through the same banks of the Ganga river. But the Gandharva didn't stop or challenge any of them. So why did he decide to fight only with the Pandavas? Asked Arjun. The Gandharva said that he was aware of their identity. He confronted them because they didn't have a Brahmin purohit to walk in front of them. He did that with a good intention, said the Gandharva, which was to make them aware of the need of a purohit. Arjun was able to win over him not just because of Arjun's expertise in archery, but because of his ascetic power derived from Brahmacharya, meaning their observance of celibacy. Thereafter, during their friendly discussions, Arjun asked that well-informed Gandharva to suggest a purohit who would be the right choice for them. In response, the Gandharva said that when they travelled further, in the forest adjacent to the river bank lived a great and divine ascetic Brahmin by name Dhaumya, who followed the path of righteousness. The Gandharva said that Dhaumya is most appropriate to be their purohit and that he will undoubtedly lead the Pandavas to success and glory. Then Arjun gave the knowledge of the great Agneya missile to the Gandharva, and saying Swasti to each other, the Pandavas then travelled to the sacred spot called Utkoja Tirtha and accepted Rishi Dhaumya as their Guru. Thereafter, with Guru Dhaumya walking at the front, the Pandavas continued their journey to the Paanchaala kingdom. In between, they met several groups of Brahmins who were also headed in the same direction. They told the Pandavas about the great celebrations in connection with the swayamvara of King Draupadi's daughter Panchali. Renowned kings of Aaryaavartham will participate in that mammoth festival, and the city will be crowded with performing artists who will entertain the guests and the general public. The sovereigns and monarchs who will be participating in the swayamvara with the desire and intention to be successful in the swayamvara will give away enormous wealth to Brahmins and to the artists who will cheer the public and the guests with their performances. Then those Brahmins told the Pandavas, who appeared like celestials in their looks and appearance, that if Draupadi happens to see them, she may even accept one of them as her husband. While talking and travelling like that happily with those Brahmins, the Pandavas came across Rishi Vedavyasa, who gave his blessings to them and then went on his way. Taking breaks and resting at several places in between, the Pandavas finally reached that very prosperous and crowded capital city of the Panchalas. There they found a place to stay in the house of a potter who made vessels, pots and other utensils out of clay. The Pandavas lived there in the guise of Brahmins. The arrangements for Draupadi's marriage was going on in full swing. Draupadi's father, King Drupada, also known as Yajnasena, had a secret desire. That was to give his daughter Draupadi in marriage to the Kuru prince Arjun. King Drupada had never believed the story of the Pandavas dying in the fire at Varanavata. So he sent spies all over Aaryaavartham to look for the Pandavas, but didn't get any leads about their existence. Thereafter, he thought very deeply about it and then made a very strong and heavy bow, which was very difficult to bend. It won't be possible to string this bow with mere physical strength. Only the one who mastered the heart and spirit of Dhanurveda will be able to lift it, hold it, and then to string it. Thereafter, Drupada got an intricate machinery erected high in the sky with a target inside it. Then he declared that his daughter will marry the one who will be able to hit the target inside the machine hanging from the sky. Massive preparations were made to accommodate all the kings and princes who will arrive for the Swayamvaram. So also, a well-decorated and spacious center stage was erected where the strength and marksmanship of each participant will be tested in front of all the participants and guests and the vast number of spectators. Accordingly, invitations were also sent well in advance to all kings and kingdoms of Aaryaavartham. During the 15 days prior to the day of the Swayamvaram, many princes, kings and monarchs reached the capital city of the Panchala kingdom. The Kuru princes also came for the Swayamvaram. They were led by Duryodhan and accompanied by Karna. All those princes, kings and monarchs were all well received and accommodated in all pomp and glory and with great care and attention. The 7-storied mansions built for them were luxurious like the palaces of Devalok. Royal food and drinks with attendants waiting to take care of their requirements were available all the time. Fragrance of the flowers from the gardens and the garlands decorating doors and entrance gates was spread up to a distance of 1 yojana, which is equivalent to 8 miles. Due to the divinity of her birth, as Draupadi was born from the sacrificial fire, several great rishis and saints came as guests to watch and see the proceedings as well as the outcome of this Swayamvaram. They were all accommodated in places which befitted them and their spirituality. Finally, learned Brahmins came like an exodus in large groups and numbers as unlimited wealth was being donated to the Brahmins by the participating kings, princes and monarchs. All the streets of the capital city were filled with performing artists who entertained the general public and the guests. Like the Brahmins, these artists also received unlimited gifts and donations on all days of these celebrations of Draupadi Swayamvaram. Like this, within 15 days, the Panchala capital became the hub of celebrations and festivities and the greatest assembly of eligible princes, kings and monarchs of Aaryaavartham. Thereafter, on the 16th day, Draupadi entered the center stage of that enormous and magnificent stadium, dressed in divine garments and decorated with celestial ornaments. In her hands, she was holding a golden plate full of gold coins and a garland of very beautiful, colorful and fragrant flowers. That was the garland which was meant for the prince, king or sovereign who will win the competition and that celestial beauty Draupadi as his wife. On her entry to the stage, the musical instruments came to a sudden halt. That grand arena was packed with the inhabitants of the Panchala kingdom as well as the citizens from other and neighboring kingdoms and with Brahmins, rishis, sages and the participating sovereigns and princes. Now that huge gathering slipped into total silence because of beholding Panchali, who was the ultimate personification of female charm and beauty. The Pandavas who were sitting among the Brahmins also saw that most beautiful maiden who had emerged from the sacrificial fire with their eyes wide open in awe and wonder. With Draupadi entering the stage, the learned Brahmins lighted the Agni Homam or the sacrificial fire and started chanting the Mangala Sukta mantras while satisfying Agni with their chants and offerings of pure ghee. Thereupon, Draupadi's twin brother Drushtadhyumna came forward holding his sister's hand. Standing in front of those brave and renowned princes and sovereigns of Aaryaavartham, he spoke in a thundering and at the same time a very sweet and pleasant tone like this. O great kings and princes, do listen to me. Here are the bows and arrows and up above in the sky is the target. First, you have to string this bow. Then, using all 5 arrows together at the same time, you need to hit the target through that hole on the rotating wheel at the right moment when the hole comes in line with the target. Whoever will do this first will be the winner of this competition and my sister Panchali will marry him. My sister, who is born after me from the flames of the fire, will honor and fulfill the truth of my words. Thereafter, Drushtadhyumna addressed his sister with brief description of each prince and king in that assembly, who sat ready for winning Draupadi in that competition. Drishtadyumna detailed her sister with the name, dynasty, kingdom, and achievements of each of those participating kings and princes. Dear viewers, here ends this chapter of this rendering of Rishi Vedvyasa's timeless epic Mahabharata. In the next episode, we will discuss the most amazing incidents and turn of events as it took place in this greatest of all competitions as described by Rishi Vedavyasa in the chapter by name Panchala Swayamvaram. Harihi Om.